I'm Brian Johnson, and in this episode of Better Cocktails at Home, I'm going to be talking about this home bar specifically and how we are planning for this and what we're doing with it right now. So, we moved into this house a few months ago, and this bar was already here, so it was already established. It's probably one of the things that we liked about the house, is this bar was made early 2000s or so, from what I've gathered. And it's built really well, but it's not built as a cocktail bar. So what that means is it really was built for kind of, having some people over, like a rec room kind of thing, hang out, serve some beers, that kind of stuff. People could just kind of hang around. So there's no shelves or bottles. There is a built-in sink. So there's some cool stuff about it. But again, if I was building it from scratch and I was building it to be a cocktail bar, I would not have built this exact bar as it is. So we're talking about previous about kind of planning for a home bar, right? How we're going to do that. Well, so for this one, we kind of said, okay, well, here's what we have existing. What do we like about it? What we don't like about it? And then how much money does it cost to do what we want to do with it? And so kind of talk about the steps of looking at your space. So, okay, we knew the space we wanted to use. Looking at kind of creating some kind of model or layout or paper on digital. In this case, I use SketchUp. And you can see in these plans, I actually tried at one point shifting this bar to a different part of our room entirely. And I would have loved that layout, except that it would have cost a fortune to do it and took a lot of time. So that got scratched. So we left this here and we said, okay, well, how can we integrate this bar with what we want to do? So we looked at it, kind of like looked at the wood, looked at the style of the bar, said, okay, it sort of feels kind of pub-like, right? Kind of like a pub style bar. That's not really our thing, so what can we do with it? So we took it, looked at our concept, look what we're doing with the room overall. The room actually needs to be very dark because it's part bar, part home theater. And then we said, okay, well, what's dark? What can we do? So we do love tiki bars. Love going to them. They're super fun. Like the kind of thematic aspects of it. So, okay, how can we do that, right? So seeing as this is kind of pub style, we said, okay, how can we take it into a sort of nautical tiki-esque realm? So we're not building a full-on tiki bar. We're building something that's sort of inspired by tiki, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Swiss Family Robinson, nautical, like kind of British tall ships, all those sorts of things we're going to try to do to convert this into more fitting the theme of what we're going to do, building out that concept. So initially when we're planning this was a wall here, and I hadn't started taking this out yet because I didn't know what I was going to do for shelving. And I actually didn't think it was going to work. But after kind of thinking about it a few times, going through a few iterations, talking to some other people, bouncing some ideas off of it, I actually thought that I'm going to do a single row of bottles here with little small shelves, but I can put bottles here. So it's going to make it a lot more functional. Think about the layout of how does everything fit behind the bar. So I'm not changing a lot, right? It's really about adapting and using what we have within our budget and what makes sense. So, and kind of wrapping that all up, the name of this bar is going to be called the Quarterdeck Club. And it's going to be, like I said, kind of this sea, tiki, nautical sort of theme. I'm really excited about. We're going to be doing a lot more videos about things we're doing with the bar, but that kind of shows you those steps on planning for a home bar and how you kind of start to integrate that in with what we're doing here. So we're going to have a lot more videos. Thank you for watching Better Cocktails at Home, and cheers.